Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
Oh my goodness. Who is that?
Emily Kress.
We have a special guest here?
And this is a first-time appearance on the pod.
So
Yeah.
you've never done the podcast?
No, usually when I've filled in on the morning show, like when I'm out in the field,
Yeah. You come in, it's too late.
yeah, I'm late to the party, so I don't want to like crash on the podcast.
And
So-
you're usually out in the Poconos reporting for your normal shift, so
Right.
you're not here on a regular basis.
Right. So when I'm up here, it's a real treat. You know, I get to see all my friends.
But
you
it's
guys.
brave of you to do this. Do you know what you're in for? Do you know what the purpose of this thing is?
No, I don't.
Brave.
What's
I need
in...
to. I need to hear what the rules are.
All right, what is in this box, this bag, is random, sometimes uncomfortable and even insulting questions from our listeners and viewers.
Okay.
You don't know what you're going to get. You may pull something out of here that you're going to blush, you're going to twitch, you're going to Twitter, you're going to say, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And
We
laughing.
hope, we
I'm
hope
going
that
to
doesn't
Twitter.
happen. Or do we hope it does happen?
all you have to do, Emily, is go,
If you don't want to answer, you
hit the
that.
bell.
Yeah.
If it's really
exactly.
awkward enough.
But most of
Okay.
them are fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good time. And remember, this is only as good as you folks make it because we don't pick what's in here. We don't preview. We don't know what we're going to get. So get your questions in brownbag@wnep.com. Brownbag@wnep.com. They go in there, and here we go,
And they
baby.
do
Okay.
like when they're a little bit awkward.
Right.
Yes.
That just makes it fun.
That makes
Should
it
we
fun.
have Emily go first?
Emily's
or-
got to go first.
Okay.
Yes.
But before you do,
Okay.
because I'm an old dude, how long have you been here?
It'll be 4 years in April.
See how time
years.
flies?
Gosh,
Because to me,
wow.
she's still the new girl, but 4 years is not the new
No, 4
girl.
That's
years.
great.
Yeah. That
Coming
is
up on
great.
2 years in the Poconos.
This is
Fabulous.
awesome.
And you're covering the Poconos, and the Poconos is home
Yes.
for you,
Yes.
which has got to be awesome.
Born and raised Monroe County. Went to Stroudsburg High School.
See, this is
Very, very
great.
local. So my photographer, Dan, everywhere we go, it's so funny. We'll be at a story and someone's like, hey, how are you related to this person? How are
Oh,
you related to
funny.
that
Is that
person?
right?
I know your dad. I went to school with your grandmother. You know, like everyone knows my family because I do have a very large family.
Yeah.
So Dan is always like, the local girl. You can't take her anywhere. She knows everyone.
I love it.
You know,
that's
so
kinda
it's a lot of fun.
perfect.
It's
That's
wonderful.
And we know the Poconos has a lot of people who've moved in from outside, but it's also just a really big small town, isn't
Right.
it?
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
All right, so dig in now.
Okay.
I
So
want to let you
yes.
know you have to mix it up. You're gonna see.
Oh,
you just
geez,
pick-
there's
you-
like-
If you want to pluck from the top, that's fine. But I think it's better to go
Really?
all over.
There's no rules.
Stick my
I
hand
just
in
want to
here.
introduce.
Okay, I think I got one.
Oh, let's
One
hope it's
fell
a good
out.
one for her first
Okay.
question.
Now I'm nervous because the
I'm
first
nervous
one
too.
is a big deal. This is her breakthrough.
Do we have to like read it first?
Well,
just in
usually we
case?
pre-read it, yeah,
Okay.
because it could be something that maybe we really can't
We don't.
say.
Yeah, we don't want the FCC to be honest here,
Okay.
girlfriend. But
Okay, so this email says.
who's
do we
it
read
from,
who
by
it?
the way? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
sometimes
Okay, so this is from Ed Cupstas.
Ooh, someone new.
Subject:
Okay.
bicycles.
Oh.
Good morning, brown baggers.
Is this what we are
I
now?
guess that's what we become.
Why do people riding bicycles demand access to the roads and respect from cars, but yet they follow no rules of the road?
Oh
Stop
my
signs, red
goodness.
lights, yield signs, they ignore all of those. If they want to use the road, they need to follow the rules. Just saying, ... Joe.
You're going to think I'm going to get defensive, and I 100% agree with this guy. I hate when you see bikers and they take up the whole road. They have their little hand signals. They think like it's all them, and they have their stupid little spandex on.
Don't
I
you wear
hate all
stupid
that.
little
We
spandex?
didn't expect it to go
No,
this direction,
I
did
think
we?
there's a lot of cyclists who are arrogant jerks.
Wow.
And let's face it,
Right.
highways and roads are for cars for the most part.
But we have to yield to the cyclists.
They get
like,
in the way and they cause congestion. It's very annoying. I go by myself, and when I see I'm on the right side of the road. I am like a diminutive little timid guy on the right side of the road. I don't take up the road. I let cars go by me. I try to stay on trails and side roads. It's very annoying when you see 5, 10 bikers and they take up the whole road and slow. No, very annoying.
Oh, like a bike club, you mean?
Well, yeah, and some guys just take up the whole road, and they're not a car. I know they get all the rights that vehicles have, but it's just awkward.
I do wish that we had more bike lanes in many.
That's
there
one
aren't
thing that doesn't
many around
exist a lot.
here.
Yeah, there's not a lot around here.
Yeah.
And by the
It'd
way,
be
the
nice.
second part of that is true too. I don't listen to any of the rules. I go through stop signs. I don't yield. I go.
Well,
to-
didn't you just say you should be doing that?
But in my defense, these are side roads
Okay.
that I'm on, and if I'm at a stop sign, I see no cars are coming, I just go. I'll slow up and I'll go. Cops come and get me.
All right. There you go.
I do
Get
think
out
all
the
of us as
handcuffs.
drivers have gotten behind
Isn't it
a
annoying?
cyclist at a spot that it's just like,
Some
you got to make room so that we
Make
can just get
room,
around
yes.
you.
Get out of the
But I
way.
get so nervous. I'm always like, I'm just gonna like stay back for a little bit, just let them do their thing.
Oh, you do?
And then like when I do get an opportunity, I like really make sure I go around them, just because obviously safety first.
Yeah, and they do deserve all the rights, and most of them are compliant, but there's some that are jerks, and I bike with them. I'm
I
done.
feel like this guy was trying to
He
target you.
thought he was going to get
Yeah.
you going,
Especially
and you
dot, dot,
hopped
dot,
right on
Joe.
I
board.
agree. I'm on board, dude. I'm on board.
All right, that one wasn't bad.
No, that was a good start.
That was a very good start,
Oops.
Emily. I think that you have a bright future as a brown bagger.
Oh, yes, Mindy. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
All right.
The giggle.
Yeah, I
Since
love the
Joe
nervous-
appears to be the expert toilet bowl cleaner,
Oh, yes, 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 yes. This
can
is good.
he and Kurt do a Does It Really Work on the toilet cleaner that was the exclusive TV deal on January 14th? I don't know if that's allowed since your company, Tegna, appears to get a portion of the sales. Thanks, Brian from Cresco.
This guy has a lot of insight.
He has
Yes.
insight, yes.
He's figuring it out.
I didn't see this one. What was it again, John? It's more of a fluid. It's not a scrubber.
It seemed to be a fluid, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't see exactly what it did.
A little behind the scenes. Emily, you may not even know because you don't see the streaming show that much, but there is
Like a little like sponsored section, right?
Yes.
it's like a product that I
Yeah.
guess the core. We don't even know how this all works.
we don't
Right.
know how it works. This is beyond our pay.
We
but
know
it's-
that somebody gets money for it.
Right.
That's
And this
what
And they tell you
product
how
and the
great
viewers
they
could
are.
buy it and stuff. And every morning it comes on, I'm like, what are we selling this
yeah,
morning?
today
And-
it was the little mini air pump.
Yeah.
but there's this toilet solution, I guess, that cleans your toilet.
Yeah.
So
I
put
don't-
it in the
If you
tank.
do like a Does It Really Work and Wham Cam like mashup or something.
Collab.
Like, yeah.
Well, I want to back up. No, I mean that's a good question. But do those solutions that you put, like those little hockey pucks, do they even clean toilets?
They do,
I don't
actually.
use them at all.
Yeah, I've
You
tried
do?
them and they do
They
work.
do.
Yeah.
Because they only seem to last like a week or two. It's
no, a
waste.
month usually. I
But
feel
do
like
they keep
Yeah.
it clean?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
they do.
think so.
Do they? So
Yeah.
you guys, you put the pucks in there?
Not
Yeah.
all the time, and I've used, there's like the little, it's almost like a gel. And
Right.
you put it on, it makes like a little star in the
Oh,
toilet.
my wife
Yeah.
has purchased
We've
those
used
too.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can't use those because then you won't get to clean the toilet manually, which is what you love to do.
We have hard water where I live, so after a week, the sides of the toilet start getting a little tint.
Yeah, exactly. But if you use, like I've put one in the tank before, like and it has sort of a bleach, I think, in it or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah, it keeps everything white.
But
yeah.
that takes the thrill of way of getting rid of it. I
what
love
I'm
the
saying.
thrill of doing
Is that what you do on Saturday nights?
Every Saturday morning, I clean my whole house. I do toilets, I vacuum, I do windows. Yeah.
Nice.
He does
it's not-
everything.
Do all
everywhere
the
I go,
chores before the bike ride.
people bring
right?
it up and they mock me. They think it's a joke. I love cleaning.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I would go to my great aunt's house, and she was like another grandma. We were at her house all the time. She was one of the first I knew to have the blue pucks.
Yeah.
And the water was blue.
Yes.
And I thought it was the coolest
Oh,
thing
yeah,
that
yeah,
Aunt
yeah.
Evelyn's toilet had
My
blue
grandma had
water.
those, too.
And at the end, it wouldn't be blue anymore. It'd
Yeah,
be green.
it'd be
and it
green.
was
That's
so
funny.
cool.
But to answer that question, I guess if we did do that product and it didn't work, it would be a conflict of our
And I have to
statements.
say, I would imagine probably the answer would be no.
No.
We would not be able to test it if it didn't work.
Yeah, if it didn't
we
work.
wouldn't be able to air it. That's the way the corporate world
That's
works.
it, man. So I'm not touching that one.
Let me know if I need to ding the bell.
Oh boy.
What should I say?
Oh, second
do it.
opinion.
Just
Go
need to-
for it.
Go for it.
Oh, no!
I don't know, John. I
So
feel
I
like,
gave the approval, so I get in trouble.
Yes. I feel like we're
What
living
did
on
he
the
ask me
edge.
for approval?
Hey, it's Friday.
Because I trust John's judgment. No offense.
No, I love it. That's true.
Okay.
I think you go for it.
I think we can go for
Here we
it.
go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is for you and me, Joe, okay? Hey, Joe and Mindy, do you guys ever miss Tom Williams and Brian Leckie? This is
Oh,
from
that's for all
Don't
of
you
us.
think
this is
that's
from
fine?
Tom.
That's fine.
Tom Wilk. Yeah.
It's Well, it's funny how they put those two together because
Yeah.
Tom Williams left us for another station, but
Right.
Ryan just left us. And if I've been here 33 years, I think of hundreds, well, not hundreds,
Yeah,
but
but
tens
so
of
many people.
who left, and I miss
Yeah.
them. I miss a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
People move on, go to other places, other work
Yeah.
stations. Yeah.
And we still talk to them. I mean, I still get text
Yes.
messages all the time and stuff. And I just wished Tom a happy birthday the other day. Like, we still, keep in contact, but it's not the same as working together every day.
But it's
so.
odd to think that because Tom Williams went to BRE, that we would now be like he's an enemy. It's not like that.
Yeah, it's not like that.
It's like if you have a friend, whatever you do for a living, are you a welder? Are you a teacher? Are you a RN? If they go to another hospital, another school, you don't like all of a sudden, oh,
Or
I
it's
hate
like
you.
when you're watching a football game and at the end of the game, and
It's
an
a trade.
NFL game, and the players start hugging the other players from the other
Oh.
teams
They're
once
friends
in a
with each
while.
other.
Yeah,
that
they're
happens all the time,
friends.
especially if
Yeah.
they've played together on
Yeah.
a team before and now they're competitors. They go over and they give each other a hug afterwards.
it's cute.
It's the same here. I do think that in the minds of some of the viewers, they cook up this like
Yes, like there's a competition.
WNEP
Yeah.
Like the
versus
rivalry.
WBRE,
It's not that way.
and then Tom went to WBRE, and we can't talk to him anymore. That's not how it works. I mean, you see WBRE people in the field
Oh yeah,
and stuff, and
absolutely.
we all get along
We're all
great.
friendly. We say
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
Catch up on things.
We're all just slugs making a living, paying the mortgage, paying the car payment, whatever the corporate stuff is above us, whatever.
If you worked at Sheetz and your friend went to work at Wawa, I don't think you're going to stop being friends. But you may miss them, and we
No.
miss seeing people around here that have left.
Yeah, we do.
And that's the reality of our business. And it's probably all workplaces, but a lot of people come and go.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
so
It's
true.
just the reality of how this works. So
And Mindy brought up something when she partially answered that. I forgot about Tom's birthday. You know
you
what?
better call him.
It's typical
It
guy
was
stuff.
January 11th.
I know,
Come on.
it's typical guy stuff.
You're like 5 days late.
And no, I'm not going to say. I don't know. It's not a guy.
But-
It's not a
Happy
guy thing.
birthday,
is he
Tom.
expecting you to get up?
No, he's not.
I don't think so.
No.
I have a friend that from high school, we've been friends since we were little kids, and we deliberately text each other on each other's birthday, something that has nothing to do with the birthday. Because it happened in the past that we were texting each other on my birthday, and he didn't say anything about my birthday, and then it just became a joke. Guys, I don't think
We don't do it.
routinely
No. Yeah.
like, oh, I got to text Joe, it's his birthday.
Society tells us to shun our emotions towards
I
each
know.
other.
Keep your feelings inside, bottled up.
Until you're on your deathbed. Then you say to all your friends, I love you, man. You were
Right.
great. Sorry I hurt your feelings.
Yep. It all comes out
And then you're dead.
at the end.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You wait till the end. Then I'll say happy birthday, Tom, all those years.
Okay.
And,
all right.
and
my
speaking
turn.
of Tom, you realize it's almost 4 years
John, so
that I've been on
my
the morning show.
God.
that
In
started
a couple
March,
months.
April.
March of
4 years.
yeah, 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude.
I cannot
Yeah,
believe
is that
it.
wild?
Dude.
It doesn't seem that long
It
at all.
does not.
On one hand, it seems like I've been doing this, that this has just
Forever.
been my thing.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it seems like I just started.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
All right, Lisa Barrett wants to know. This is a situation that intrigues me. I'd like the morning crew to weigh in. All right, do you sleep with fitted sheets, top sheets, blanket, comforter, quilt,
Oh, this is my specialty.
or do you not use the top sheet? So just fitted sheets and blankets. Apparently, this is a big dividing topic. I personally have
I
always
didn't realize it is, but I've
It
come to
is.
learn it is.
I've always used the top sheet and had only recently learned that a lot of people do not. Thanks, Lisa in South Williamsport. You were on this. What are
Yeah.
you feeling?
Yeah. So you mentioned about like all of like the extra blankets and stuff too.
Yeah.
But when I go to bed, my family makes so much fun of me. They're like, "What is wrong with you?" So you need the top sheet.
Whoa, back up. So you have on
fitted
your
sheet.
mattress.
Yeah, fitted
you have
sheet on the mattress.
The one that goes around.
And then you have your regular sheet over
The top sheet over that.
And then you have the comforter. Mm-hmm. And then in my case, I have a heated blanket.
Oh.
And then I have other blankets like along the wall of like, the bed. And I go to bed with like a crew neck on and like sweatpants, cabin socks,
So yours
and a
is
space heater.
yours is a temperature thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
surprised
my
you don't
room-
overheat.
No, I don't. I wake up and like I'm freezing.
Really?
So my family is like, my brother says to me, "You need to be studied," because he's like, "I can't breathe in that room." But I love all the extra blankets.
Do
And
you love hot
Wow.
summer days? Are you
No.
like just so this is
No,
hot.
I
you
hate
don't like,
the hot summer days.
but you like being hot in bed.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
it's just
Wow.
it's so cold, like in the winter, you know.
Well, with the top sheet,
Yeah.
I see my wife use that occasionally because we have 3 grown kids. We have bedrooms all over the place.
Right.
And on this shift, I have my own bedroom for a part of the week. The top sheet thing, I'm like, no, get that thing. It just gets in the
So
way.
you don't use the top sheet?
No, I put a sheet over the mattress and a comforter. That's
it.
Why would you have a top
See,
sheet?
this drives me nuts.
You're a top sheeter?
Yeah, I'm a top sheeter. And then, you know, I married my husband, but the thing is, he's so tall and stuff, the sheets get all messed
You know
up.
what? He's not a top sheeter.
He's not a top sheeter, so guess what? Guess what I've had to sacrifice in my
top
life?
sheet?
Oh no.
I've had to sacrifice
That's
the
an
top
extra
sheet.
layer of warmth.
I think
I
the top
know.
sheet is a woman
And-
construct.
And it's funny because I just always thought, well, that's just the way a bed's supposed
It's
to be.
supposed
top
to
sheeter?
be.
With the top sheet. So
Yeah.
I've always slept with the top sheet.
Yeah.
You're a top sheeter?
Yeah.
Oh my
Because I just didn't know there was anything else. And then I've come to realize all these other people that just have a comforter and no top sheet
It gets
or
in
just
the way. That
blankets.
thing has no purpose.
But well, yeah. I mean, I think it's supposed to kind of protect, so you don't have to wash your blankets or comforter all the time. The top sheet is like
Oh.
it is like
Oh,
so
that
all
makes
your
sense. It's
so
different.
all your
That makes
sweat
sense.
and
Oh, that
skin
makes
and
sense.
That makes
then.
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's
And the
supposed to
comforter
be.
is so bulky.
Right,
That
you
it
don't
takes
want to
a long
wash it
time
all
to
the
dry.
time.
So
Yeah,
And I have a comforter that I love, and I love to be close to it because it makes me all warm and cuddly, and I wash that every weekend.
every weekend.
Every weekend I wash my comforter.
Are you
Why, is
serious?
that too much, you think?
Yeah,
But
Oh,
I guess,
so
I guess if
if
he doesn't
you're-
have a top sheet,
Because I'm not a top
but
sheeter.
you don't have to. I say maybe I'm wrong. I say wash the sheets every 2 weeks. I don't think you need to
What
do it
about
every
your
week.
comforter? Do you ever wash that?
Yeah, once in a while, but not very often.
because
but
you
I
have the top sheet.
But I
you-
have a super soft blanket that we almost use as a top sheet that goes below the comforter. So I wash that a lot more often.
Well, what's the thing in hotels that it's almost like a spongy brownie thing they put
That's
on?
supposed to be a blanket, but those are weird.
oh,
What are
yeah,
those things?
And they don't keep you warm at all.
What
They're
are those
nasty.
things?
Those
They're
thin
nasty.
little brownish blankets
What are they?
almost
Oh
at
yeah.
a hotel.
What is that?
I don't know.
I find it's a
So
lot of times.
does your whole family do top sheet then?
Well,
Divided in the Meyer household.
Jake decided he didn't want a top sheet anymore,
course
and
not.
I feel like it was controversial.
Oh.
Your
The-
wife forced the top sheet
Well,
on?
I think that's the way you make the bed with the top sheet. And now he has like this multiple blanket layer that he has a system of how warm and cold he is, but that's another thing. And then Rennie is just buried in blankets,
She's
including
a top sheeter?
She's a top sheet. So our bed has a top sheet.
But isn't it hard for you to keep that top sheet where it's supposed to be because you're so tall?
It is.
Yeah,
I
the
have
top
so much
sheet, that's what I
trouble-
mean. It's too...
And I get like tangled up in it and
Yes, yes.
stuff.
So I
Yes.
did decide just forget the
You
top
gave
sheet.
up?
I gave.
You
well,
gave
I
up
had
on
to
the top sheet?
sacrifice. I had to. I mean, I want to save my marriage.
Yeah, but wait now. You're more low life than me. You gave up the top sheet and you never wash your comforter.
No, but I had the
You're more
blanket.
low life than me.
Not more low life than you. I have the super soft blanket that now doubles as a top sheet.
I don't get it.
Well, it's just a thin, like really soft blanket that I
Oh,
love
and
the
then
the
feeling.
comforter on
comforter
top
on
of
that?
that?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. The comforter
So you
goes
have a
over
top
that.
sheet, only it's almost like a mini blanket.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then there's the whole duvet thing.
Oh, duvets are the
Don't
worst.
get me
I
started.
tried the duvet. That's it's too impossible to
And then
get
the
back on.
process of trying to get
you
that
need-
thing
Get
back
that back
into
in.
the
You need
duvet.
the duvet if you have a feather comforter because you can't
Oh,
wash the
stop.
feather comforter.
Oh,
It's
is that
true.
why the duvet is
Yes.
for over the feather comforter?
Yes, you can't wash those in the
Learn
washing
something
machine.
new every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
but trying to get that
Sounds-
comforter back
no,
into that
it's
duvet
torture.
is...
It's a huge pain. I've done it so many times,
All
and I'm
the-
so sick of it.
All the French-derived words and things are stupid. They're all stupid, and that's an example.
You hate duvets because
Yeah.
it's a French word.
How many
How
French
about a
words?
bidet?
That's what I said. They're all ridiculous things. Anything that is a French-derived word is a ridiculous thing.
I think a bidet is actually kind of nice. I feel like maybe Emily should pick a question.
Emily, you're
Yeah,
right.
we better move us on.
Okay.
Sometimes we spin into areas we gotta move on.
I didn't know how many questions we like.
We
get
never
into.
know.
You never know.
Oh,
We
okay.
do as many as we
It's
can.
however chatty we, or
Yeah.
however chatty we
Control,
want to be.
control room Carrie will at some point
Ooh, I
tell
kinda-
us that
ooh.
we've got to stop.
I accidentally ripped it.
Sometimes this happens where it rips into many pieces.
Okay.
You should have had
Oh,
the bad
okay.
one. Okay,
So
here we
this
go.
one is from Susan Leba. It says, doesn't have a subject line on it. Could you please tell me why WNEP shows news from the 1980s? What is the purpose? Susan from Honesdale.
Interesting.
We love a throwback. I think it's
Yeah.
fun to see like how things are so different from how they are now. Like I was looking at some video. It wasn't on our station, but I was like, that video looks like it was from like 2002. And
Which isn't that long ago, Emily.
No.
I mean, I just turned
Sure it
30.
is.
I just turned 30, so I mean, I feel
know.
like I'm crawling up there.
Yeah.
But let's
it's
stop
fun
and
to
go
look back.
What's she referring to? So on streaming, which
Yeah.
is the app,
Yeah.
you when is it something you select or it's just
We
randomly?
just have it on sometimes. So if you put on WNP Plus, which most people that are watching this or listening are familiar with it, but we have the old newscasts, and I believe they go back and try to pick one from the same time
Yes.
of year,
Yeah.
maybe even the same date, and it's just on there.
Nostalgia's a thing.
It is
yeah.
totally a thing, and I honestly think, and don't you think nostalgia in this area is really?
It's huge.
It's huge. I
Yeah.
think because WNEP has just been part of people's lives for so long.
Yeah.
So they tune in. There's Nolan Johannes and Karen Harsh
Yeah, Tom
and
Clark.
Tom Clark, Joe Zone.
Noreen Clark.
Yeah,
they're-
all doing and then you see, like you're saying, when you see how it was done back then,
Yeah.
it's just fascinating to see.
But what also intrigues me, because I have caught myself watching this at times, it's how things don't change. There's a strike here, there's an accident here, there's people in uproar over taxes, and nothing changes. It's the same now as it was 30, 40 years ago. The same topics hit us.
And
They hate the president, they like the president. They hate this local politician, it's the same
They don't
stuff.
want this to move into their community. This business is
Yeah.
closing. This is, it is interesting. But the reality too is that, so we have this streaming channel and it's 24 hours of time to fill.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
With content. And a lot of it is on demand that you can just pick, but it's not filled with ABC content like the WNEP TV station
Just
is.
another option.
So
Yeah.
it's just some options. But the nice thing is about a Plus channel is, okay, so you flip it on and there is Nolan Johannes from 1984. You can just scroll down, pick something else that you want to watch, and play it. That's the difference with what's on TV. Now, with the Plus, you can just pick something else that we have.
Yeah.
Many options.
It's another option, ma'am, sir. What was it? It was a nice woman. I think
Susan.
it was. Susan.
Yeah, I think it's
just
fun
great.
to watch
Yeah.
the old newscasts. I think it's interesting to see what they wore, the hair,
Right.
all the stuff.
And now knowing the technology of how things have changed, to see what they did back then and know what went into doing it, it took a lot for some of those live reports to happen and all that. Now you just flip on a cell phone box and we do live reports all over the place. They were rolling out the big satellite truck
yeah.
and all that. So
Oh, you mean we don't use those anymore?
Well, if I'm correct, I think they'd have to shoot video and a lot of times run back with the video, the actual
Right.
big track
Yeah.
magnetic tape instead
or
of
on
sending
film,
it.
or
Yeah.
on come cut
That's
the film.
right.
In
And
1984,
film-
it still would have been film.
Film,
still
it took
would've been-
so much time to process the film.
Yes.
So, yeah, and the other interesting thing is the film was so expensive, so it wasn't like videotape or whatever or online where you could just use as much as you want.
Yeah, you're right. Just right over it. Uh-oh,
Yeah.
John's laughing. This is
yeah,
gonna be
he's
good.
smirking.
It's gonna be good.
I just like when it's a completely random. And this is what we
Oh,
got.
boy.
Carolyn, good job. Hi, Joe. Why do we call tuna fish? We don't say we're eating flounder fish or salmon fish or haddock fish. What's the deal with tuna?
Oh my gosh, that's so true. Why is it tuna fish?
Right?
Isn't
Yeah,
that great?
Joe, why do we call
Maybe
it?
AI has the answer. Sean usually does this. I'll give it a quick one while
She is
Mindy
so
goes.
right though, because
Yeah.
if you're gonna have a tuna fish sandwich,
You say tuna fish.
tuna fish. You say tuna fish.
Right.
No one says bass fish. No one says trout fish. No one
Right.
says.
No one says
Haddock.
salmon fish.
Yeah.
No, you're not adding fish to it, but tuna fish.
Yeah. Or shrimp fish.
No one
which is
says
not
I'm
fish.
having chicken bird. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
No, but it's tuna fish.
Let's see if there's
That
an
is
answer.
weird.
Why do we
All right.
call it tuna fish? Some things, I guess, they appear in society and culture. We call it tuna fish to distinguish it from the prickly pear cactus fruit, also called tuna. The things we learn here on streaming.
So it's a fruit?
And because
Prickly
adding
pear.
fish clarifies it's the sea creature, a common practice for other fish like codfish, but often tuna fish refers to the specificity of canned processed meat. But I guess there's something called a pear cactus fruit. So
It's a tuna.
A prickly pear.
Yeah.
That's
Cactus
a tuna.
fruit.
I never heard of that.
I never heard
also
that either.
called a tuna. So that thing is called a tuna, and we had to distinguish it from the fish.
Bring back taste test and get one of those pears.
Yeah,
so
that's a
that's
good
called
idea.
a tuna. So it's not a tuna fruit.
We
It's,
have an
I'm having the
assignment.
tuna fish, not the tuna fruit.
Yeah.
That was a good wham cam.
Do you
though.
like tuna fish?
Would you believe the only fish I eat is tuna fish out of a can.
Out of the can.
Yeah. No other fish.
Interesting. Tuna fish.
All right. Will you read this for me? I didn't bring my glasses.
Are you being serious? Or are you trying to
I'm
get me in trouble?
serious.
Serious.
I really I can't read it.
Russell wants to know, Russell Wasterman, how do the size of the NFL stadium affect the wind speeds? If the wind is 30 miles an hour in the parking lot, how much would it be in the stadium? Is it the same? You like that question?
That's kind of
I do.
boring.
It's very
I don't-
scientific.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you're going to get eddies, you're going to get swirling. Currents can then flow above the stadium and pull air up, a siphon effect, but of course it's going to block the wind. But John, Mr. Football, Mindy too, I guess,
Yes.
I don't know about. Did you ever notice going to these games, if it's windy in Pittsburgh and you go in
I'm
to
only a
Heinz Stadium?
Steelers fan, and Heinz Field was built to face downtown Pittsburgh and be open on that one end zone, facing the city.
Back up. So you're
Facing
saying
the
it's
rivers.
surrounded by bleachers on
so
all
it's
sides.
like a big U.
Oh, it is.
And for the longest time, it was the hardest stadium in the NFL to kick a field goal in.
Because of
And
that.
the theory is that the wind would swirl into that U and alter the direction of the field goals,
So
especially if you were kicking at the open end of
Right.
Do you
the
know
end
which
zone.
way it looks? Which way the
It
U
would be
opens?
facing, I would think, in a southerly direction.
So the open end faces south.
South, yeah.
And a lot of times there is a direct south wind is common in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so it probably is a thing.
Yeah, so it's a thing, depending
Interesting.
on the stadium, but they're definitely going to block some of the wind. I'm hearing the music. Does that mean we're done?
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Well,
this podcast went
That's
so
it?
quickly. Thank you, Emily.
One thing
Oh,
we did
of
learn is
course.
that we don't need top sheets. What I want you to do is get these things and throw them in the garbage.
I like my top sheet.
Top sheets forever.
See you later,
Thank
everybody.
you, Emily.